Modern production or OEM motorcycle exhaust systems are highly engineered to find the best solution to the power versus decibels versus emissions problem. When headed to the track, all you're concerned about is power. Today in MC Garage, Red Bull Street Freestyle athlete Aaron Colton shows you the ins and outs of installing a racing exhaust.
So unless your motorcycle is powered via extension cord, it has an exhaust system. All motorcycles do via 2-stroke, 4-stroke, street, or dirt. And one of the easiest things you can do to personalize that assembly line motorcycle to you is pick your exhaust of choice. Now, they all have different sounds, they have different use case. Some are available and only okay to ride off-road, some are street legal. There's all these different options you have. And for me, my favorite setup is SC Project. Now, this right here is going to be a little bit louder than the norm, so this is what I would call my track and non-street use exhaust system. But with any motorcycle these days, they've gotten smarter and smarter. And with that fuel tuning capabilities that the manufacturers put on them, often when you change the exhaust, they actually run, honestly, quite horribly. Fuel tuner, that's step number 2. What the fuel tuner does is it allows the motorcycle to have the proper air to fuel mixture, sometimes along with ignition map changes that is going to accompany your new exhaust system. Now, this system used to be difficult. You used to have to send your ECU off to one company and then purchase a fuel tuning unit from another and then take it to your local dyno and do dyno pulls to see where your power was at and see where your air fuel ratio was at. Now they've made things pretty seamless. You can get within striking distance of what I would call the perfect tune for most people out there with some of these plug and play systems. So today on the Indian FTR, I am going to install a cat delete exhaust system and a fuel tuning unit. So time is money. Do yourself a favor, set up the tools, at least that you think you're going to use for the project first. For this setup here, it's going to be an 8 for the exhaust clamp, it's going to be a set of 13s for the cat, and then up here it's going to be a T50 and a 13. So each motorcycle is going to be a little bit different, but on the FTR wise, they've made it super, super simple to detach the cat back from the header system. Loosen the coupler here to the cat. It was a 13 on either side here of the cat. And then it's just a hanger mount here. So I should be able to just give this thing a little loving and get it to pull off the back. Just like that. Hot and heavy. And the one thing about doing an exhaust like this when it's down low is it's not like you work on this area of the bike all that much. So clean it up if you can, because I'm sure you're not going to be down here for a little while. So as far as installation goes, once you've removed it, most of these systems are pretty easy. With the Indian SC combo, it is a Y pipe where it goes 1 into 2. This came pre-assembled in my case, and basically all you have to do is you reuse the stock exhaust clamp at the bottom. You slip the mid pipe over the header and start mounting from there. It lines right up to the OEM foot peg mount and down here right up to the header. Now with this on, all you need to do is tighten down the mid pipe clamp as well as the exhaust hanger bracket. And this is pretty quick work. Use a torque wrench if you fancy that. If not, check it twice. And when you put your exhaust clamp on, you always want to put it to the aesthetic blind side of where you view from, and also with any of the hardware to a non-clearing point on the bottom. I've caught that stuff plenty of times and ripped mid pipes off, so I try to get that out of striking distance from the ground. So I already have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen. We just shed a lot of weight, but we also shed a lot of back pressure. So I would imagine this isn't going to run quite right. And that's the issue that I ran into before. So that's the one thing about the fuel tuner is when a motorcycle is designed to run a certain way and you change the exhaust configuration, it no longer is able to act like it's supposed to with that new configuration. So we're going to start it up. It's going to be loud and proud, get a little sound bite, and then quite positively I'm going to have to put that fuel tuner right on this thing. There we go right there. A little loss of back pressure. It's struggling to idle. I'm sure there's a few things we'd see across the power range, but just off the go, that's one thing I noticed already. Okay, so it's cold, but it's running a little rough. I figured that would happen. Now it's time to toss on the fuel tuner. So even up to a few years back, the way that I would go about it is I would get my ECU reflash from one company, and then I would run a Bazaz unit piggyback to run my fuel injection control, and that combination together gave me what I was looking for. Now things have advanced a little bit. This is a Power Vision setup, and what this does is you actually plug this in to the diagnostic port that your dealership would use when your motorcycle is coming up with an error or to read any ECU updates, and you just reload a map into there. A lot less wiring, a lot less work, and it makes a super quick job of what used to take days. So to pull the right side cover on this, you have to pull the seat. It's just 2 Allens underneath where the grab rails are on the FTR. Lift the seat back. And from there, you're going to remove the faceplate from the tank so you can access the Allens that hold on the right side cover. So you'll pull off the faceplate. And then from there, you're just going to pop off the rubber grommets on the bottom of the side cover. And then your data connection port is going to be the one with the purple connector underneath the ECU on the right-hand side. And you're going to plug in your vision harness. The first thing it prompts you to do is it wants to download so it can register the OEM tune and then sync itself to the ECU. So you put it into that mode and you wait about 15 minutes for it to download all the memory off the ECU. So after it saves and downloads the original OEM map, you can go into the next function where you search for the files. Mine is preloaded from Lloyd's, so it's already ready to flash. From this point, you just select your tune. This is the information that I've set up for my tuning software through Lloyd's. It already comes preloaded. So from this point, all you have to do is start the flash, pair it to the vehicle because it will lock to this ECU forever, as this cannot be used on multiple units. And continue. This right here loads the new mapping software into the ECU. That should be compatible depending on who you purchased it through directly with your exhaust setup already. And we're only minutes away from being able to start this thing and see if we have some corrections on the running tendencies. So after the map loads completely, it'll prompt you to turn the key off to finalize the map. And just like that, we should have a reflashed ECU. Yep, there we go, success. All right. Now it's time to start it up. We don't need to put the body panels on that. I'm curious just to see on base idle how it would do, let alone across the board when I get out and ride this thing. Just in that alone, the off the bottom fueling and the coughing that this thing tended to have so much with or without the cat setup is much smoother. At this point, I'm excited to get this thing wrapped up and on a test drive because I'd love to see how this actually feels. It's been one of my qualms with this. So excited to get this thing ripping. Fresh exhaust, fresh tune, really excited to get turning and burning on the FTR. And just as it came apart, put it back together. You can choose to leave the device on if you like. I took mine off knowing that I'm pretty confident in the map setup that I got from this from Lloyd's. And from here, you're in the clear. This thing's going back together. Have you come to help? Yeah? Have you come to help? Okay. Okay, you're gonna help me with this, all right? Okay. Okay. Okay, spin it. Spin Spin it, spin it, yep. Spin it, spin it, spin it. Spin it. To the right, yep. Keep going, keep going. So the installation on this type of stuff is getting easier by the day. It was a breeze for the FTR 1200. I hope you have the same experience when you go to bat with this. But just like anything, it's time to go test the work. Hopefully just a lap around the neighborhood won't upset the neighbors too much before I load this thing up and take a track bound. But super excited now that this thing's breathing clean with the SC.